Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gushin Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, we bring you the top 50 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. Our top focus comes in from West Asia. Israeli forces bombed a Lebanese association accused of financing Hezbollah. The IDF reportedly launched 11 strikes at the group Al-Qard Al-Hassan in Beirut's southern suburbs. Meanwhile, other strikes hit the association in the eastern Beqaa Valley. Israeli strikes also landed near Beirut's airport, which is also the main entry point for the humanitarian assistance into the country. Meanwhile, the Hezbollah group fired about 200 rockets towards northern Israel yesterday. It said it targeted 3 military bases near Haifa, Safed and Tiberias. This as Israel declared ramping up against attacks against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. A senior Israeli commander was killed in a blast in northern Gaza yesterday. Colonel Ehsan Daksa was killed in the Jabalia area. He died after an explosive struck the commander after he left his tank. Another battalion commander also sustained injuries along with 2 officers. Israel's President Isaac Herzog described Daksa as a hero. Now to the war in Europe. Russia launched strikes on Ukrainian city of Kharkiv, wounding at least 12 people yesterday. The city also suffered a power outage due to strikes. Ukrainian officers said the Russian strikes had injured 7 women and 5 men. The attack also caused severe damage to Kharkiv's infrastructure. And now to the United States. Vice President and Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris celebrated her 60th birthday yesterday. She was treated by a happy birthday redemption by legendary singer Stevie Wonder in Georgia. This happened when Harris was on her campaign trail in the state. In the video posted by Harris on X, she was seen smiling and enjoying the heartwarming gesture. The US and Canadian warships sailed through the waters of the Taiwan Strait yesterday. This comes a week after China held a military drill in the sensitive passage. The US and its allies regularly sail through the Taiwan Strait. This is to assert it is an international waterway. Meanwhile, China claims Taiwan to be a part of its own territory. It also stated it will not shy away from using the military force to bring Taiwan under its control. A Libyan man was arrested by German prosecutors on suspicion of having links with Islamic State group. According to prosecutors, the man allegedly planned to attack the Israeli embassy in Berlin. The suspect, identified as Omar A., was arrested from his house in Brno. The 28-year-old man has been accused of supporting a foreign terrorist organization. Omar was allegedly having exchanges with a member of Islamic State in the messenger chat. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva cancelled his trip to Russia after an injury. Reports say he had fallen in his bathroom on Saturday at home. He had suffered a cut on his back of his head. The Brazilian leader has been advised to avoid any long-distance travel. He was supposed to attend the 3-day BRICS summit in Russia, but will now participate in the event virtually. Over 230 migrants were rescued from a wooden boat on Sunday in seas of Spain's Canary Islands. Coast Guards towed the boat when they found the migrants close to Gran Canaria's main port. 14 women and 3 children were also found in the boat. The Atlantic route to the Canary Islands has seen the fastest growth in irregular migration in recent years. In India, another terrorist incident was reported in Jammu and Kashmir. At least 7 people died in Kashmir's Gandarbal district. Terrorists opened fire on the victims who were at construction site. The victims included a Kashmiri doctor and workers building a tunnel for a highway. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has condemned the attack. Meanwhile, the Resistance Front group, backed by the Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba, reportedly claimed responsibility for the attack. Amid tumbling ties between India and Canada, outgoing Indian High Commissioner to Canada, Sanjay Kumar Verma, came down heavily on Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The Indian diplomat accused Trudeau of damaging ties between the two countries for political gains. His comments came after Verma was designated as a person of interest. In Canada's probe into the killing of the Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, the Indian diplomat also said Prime Minister Trudeau could not provide evidence showing an Indian involvement in the case. Verma called Canadian intelligence was using Khalistani extremists as deep assets. Former Army General Prabowo Subianto was sworn in on Sunday as the President of Indonesia. The 73-year-old took the oath as officially succeeded outgoing leader Joko Widodo. Although the new president committed to Indonesian non-aligned foreign policy, but he also signaled to be firm at the global level. Later, his team of 48 ministers also took oath during the event. Subianto had secured a landslide victory in the February election. The Caribbean island of Cuba continues to grapple with a nationwide power cut for the third consecutive day. A tropical storm named Oscar also made landfall on Sunday, worsening the situation for its residents. Authorities have said power will be restored in most of the country by evening of October 21st. Meanwhile, President Miguel Diaz-Canel has warned that public disturbances during the outage shall not be tolerated. Bringing you some climate updates now, and we begin with Hurricane Oscar. After making landfall on Caribbean island, it weakened into a tropical storm yesterday. It is now moving towards eastern Cuba, lashing the region with strong winds and heavy rainfall. Before the Caribbean island, Oscar made landfall on Great Inagua Island in Bahamas. Storm Nadine inundated the Mexican state of Yucatan. In the flooded Central American country of Belize over the weekend, it dumped heavy rain and brought gale forces wind to affect the regions. However, before swirling across Guatemala, it weakened. Guatemalan officials advised residents to evacuate to safety shelters and remain indoors. Italy's Emilia-Romagna region was inundated by heavy flooding after persistent monsoon rainfall. The severe weather caused multiple rivers to burst their banks. Firefighters found the body of a missing person in Botteghino di Zocca. In the city of Bologna, some 175 millimeters of rain fell in one day. Despite the rain tapering of Bologna and 4 other provinces in northeastern plains were under a red alert until yesterday midnight. In South Asia, flooding in Bangladesh has destroyed over 1 million metric tons of rice. This is according to the data given by the Agricultural Ministry. The crop has been severely damaged in the eastern and northern region of the nation. At least 75 people died during the severe weather situation in August and October. The air quality in India's capital, New Delhi, has started to deteriorate. In some neighborhoods, the air quality index reached 346, which the Central Pollution Board classifies as very poor. A thick layer of fog can be engulfing several areas in the national capital. Residents of New Delhi are facing difficulty in breathing and experiencing watery eyes. The COP16 Biodiversity Summit began in Colombia yesterday. The 2-week event, running until November 1, will focus on halting the unprecedented global destruction of nature in 2024. Delegates will negotiate the next steps in implementing the 2022 Kunming-Montreal Accord, a major agreement aimed at addressing the sharp decline in biodiversity. Ahead of the Commonwealth Summit this week, Britain is facing growing calls for repatriations from former colonies. They are demanding that the UK should pay for causing climate change as well as slavery. The demand is coming from nations like the Bahamas. The island nation is one of the most vulnerable to climate change. According to study, Britain owes $8.2 trillion in climate reparations by 2050. On to business and tech news now. European Union countries spend billions of dollars annually to subsidize fossil fuel cars. This is according to a new report by the European Environment Group, Transport and Environment. The report stated the subsidies were given to the firms as tax breaks and transport allowances for workers. The 5 biggest EU members spend over $45.6 billion annually to help power petrol-powered cars. Italy topped the list of these nations, incentivizing petrol cars, followed by Germany, France and Poland. China's central bank has lowered its benchmark lending rates. The People's Bank of China cut the one-year loan prime rate and five-year loan prime rate. Both are used by Chinese banks to determine interest rates on loans. The move is seen as a way to revive the country's ailing property market and overall economy. The measure comes after the government announced a slew of steps last month to stimulate growth. Meanwhile, the Beijing Stock Exchange has also joined the government's efforts to help boost growth. The stock exchange says it will help small and medium-sized tech companies list their stocks. The BOHUS will assist the firms with training and financing. Australian mining giant BHP is facing a $47 billion lawsuit in London. The case is related to Brazil's 2015 dam collapse, which BHP operated in a joint venture with Whale. The incident killed 19 people and displaced thousands. The case has been filed by 600,000 Brazilians and 46 local governments. BHP says the London lawsuit is a duplicate of a similar case in Brazil, adding that it has already paid $8 billion to those affected. An Australian court has ordered Qantas Airways to pay $114,000 to three of its former workers. They were among about 700 baggage handlers the airline fired in 2020. The court ruled that the move was illegal. The airline had outsourced their jobs to save money during the COVID-19 pandemic. The ruling sets the stage for Qantas to negotiate compensation for the rest of the fired workers. Boeing's U.S. factory workers are set to vote on a new wage deal this week. The voting could end the strike of 33,000 union workers that has been ongoing for over a month. The plane maker proposed the deal over the weekend. It offers Boeing's workers about a 35% pay hike over 4 years. The offer also includes a $7,000 bonus and higher retirement contributions by the firm. The German Finance Ministry has denied reports that they are reconsidering a law on banking mergers. It was earlier reported the government may introduce a law to block foreign takeovers of German banks. The report comes amid merger talks between Italy's UniCredit and Germany's Commerzbank. Indian retailers have filed a complaint against quick commerce firms. This includes Blinkit, Swiggy and Zepto. Retailers accuse these platforms of using predatory pricing practices, such as offering deep discounts. The complaint was filed by All India Consumer Products Distribution Federation, which represents 400,000 retail distributors. The complaint has been submitted to the Competition Commission of India. The share prices of Australia's Which Doble plunged about 15% today. This after the firm's board said it is reviewing allegations against billionaire CEO Richard White. It has been accused of paying off former partners to settle allegations of misconduct. Sydney-based WiseTech makes software for supply chain management. American artificial intelligence startup Perplexity AI is reportedly in talks to raise $500 million. The firm is developing an AI-powered search engine that can help with research and other tasks. Reports say that latest round of funding would raise Perplexity AI's valuation to $8 billion. Moving to sports, and we start with cricket. New Zealand women were crowned T20 World Champions. The White Ferns scripted history by defeating South Africa by 32 runs in Dubai. Batting first, New Zealand put 150 runs on the scoreboard. South Africa's battling lineup collapsed due to New Zealand's ferocious bowling. In 20 overs, South Africa could score just 126 runs after losing 9 wickets. New Zealand's Amelia Carr was named both Player of the Match and Player of the Tournament. Sri Lanka defeated the West Indies by 5 wickets in the first of the 3-match one-day international series. The 50-over match at Palakkal was shortened by the rain. Batting first, West Indies scored 185 runs in 38.3 overs. Due to the rain, Sri Lanka were given a revised target of 232 runs in 37 overs. The hosts chased the target in 31.3 overs with 5 wickets to spare. Sri Lanka led 1-0 in the 3-match one-day international series. Indian men's cricket captain Rohit Sharma said the team needs to be little careful with Rishabh Pant's injury. He said Pant recently had a massive operation on his leg and that due to precautions must be taken. Pant was forced to leave the field during the first test match between India and New Zealand in Bengaluru. Moving to football, Barcelona hammered Sevilla 5-1 in La Liga League match on October 20. For Barca, Robert Lewandowski scored twice in the first half. Other goal scorers for Barca were Pedri Gonzalez and Pablo Tar. For Sevilla, the lone goal came from Stanis Idembo in the 87th minute. Liverpool beat Chelsea 2-1 in Premier League match yesterday. Liverpool's win in the league match was orchestrated by Curtis Jones. The midfielder earned a penalty. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah converted the penalty into a goal in the 29th minute. Nicholas Jackson's equaliser for Chelsea levelled the score at 1-1. Jonas then went on to scored a goal himself in the 51st minute to seal the match for Liverpool. In tennis, men's world number 1 Yannick Sinner claimed the 6 Kings Slam Championship in Saudi Arabia. He defeated Carlos Alcaraz of Spain 6-7, 6-3, 6-3 in straight sets. Sinner took home a whopping $6 million in prize money after his victory. Rafael Nadal lost 2-6, 6-7 to his arch-rival Novak Djokovic in the 6 Kings Slam. Nadal and Djokovic were fighting for the third place in the Saudi Showpiece tournament. This is likely the final clash between the two tennis legends before Nadal's retirement next month. And it appears to be the end of current season of Japan's Naomi Osaka. Osaka said she will not play at the next month's Billie Jean King's Cup finals due to injury. The 4-time Grand Slam singles champion said that she had ruptured her abdominal muscles and that she needs time to recover. In India, archery Deepika Kumari won silver medal in the Archery World Cup final. Deepika had a consistent winning run in the league stage, but she lost to China's Li Jiama in the final and settled for silver. This is ace Indian archer's 6th Archery World Cup medal. In Formula One, Ferrari scripted a 1-2 finish in the United States Grand Prix. This after Charles Leclerc's dominant win in the Austin racing circuit. Starting from the 4th place, the Monaco racer took an early advantage to hold off Max Verstappen. Leclerc came out first, meanwhile his teammate Carlos Sainz finished second. In the world of showbiz now, singer Taylor Swift suffered a wardrobe malfunction at her recent Miami show. The incident happened when she started singing the song But Daddy, I Love Him. She was performing in a white corset gown which suddenly unzipped in the back. However, her team quickly responded and managed the situation. Singer Zayn Malik has postponed his US tour. This comes after his former One Direction bandmate Liam Payne's sudden death last week. Malik took to social media and announced the news himself. The tour has now been rescheduled for January 2025. Stairway to the Sky tour was supposed to begin in San Francisco on the 23rd of October. Singer Diljit Dosanjh has become the first Indian artist to get featured on the Billboard Canada magazine cover. The edition will have never seen before content from the singer's The Illuminati tour. The magazine will also release limited edition signed copies by the singer for readers to buy. American singer and songwriter Lady Gaga will release a new single this week. This will be her 7th album's first single titled Disease. It will release on the 25th of October. The pop star hasn't announced this yet, but Universal Music has postponed its pre-save date on their website. This comes after she released her album Harlequin. American singer Shay has endorsed U.S. Vice President and Democratic candidate Kamala Harris for the post of the U.S. President as the race to the White House intensifies. Shay took to social media and stated that she will vote for Harris in the elections next month. The singer revealed that she has been following Harris since she was a senator. Marvel Studios' Deadpool and Wolverine has become the 12th highest grossing film ever at the North American box office. The film re-released in the theaters over this weekend, which brought its domestic box office collection to over $636 million. This helped the film surpass Barbie's business as well. However, Greta Gerwig's directional still stands strong at the global box office with business of $1.445 billion. James Gunn, the CEO of the DC studio, has spoken about the upcoming releases of the studios. He said every project would be unique in its own way. Talking about the 2025 Superman film, he stated that it will be different from the previous ones. He added, and I quote, "It's a connected universe, but we are not imposing any overall aesthetic," unquote. The horror film Smile 2 has earned $23 million at the domestic box office in its opening weekend. The story is one of curse which passes from one victim to another. And this time, the victim is a troubled pop star played by Naomi Scott. Its predecessor, Smile, opened with $22.6 million in 2022. Actor Matt Smith says he's yet to see the script for the third season of House of Dragon. At a Comic-Con event in New York, the actor revealed that he has not seen even a letter from the story. He then teased the audience by saying he knows something which he cannot share. The season 2 of the show aired in August this year. And finally, Deadpool star Peggy the Pugliese has been nominated for the Fido Awards or for Incredible Dogs on Screen Awards. She is a 5-year-old pug and Chinese crested cross. Peggy will be joined by other nominees like the Red Husky from the comedy horror Night Bitch. The Fido's Awards will take place in London next year. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gursheen Galan and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned.